Well, that was another successful episode of Downhill Madness. And I think we're pretty good to just, go ahead and park here and head back home because oh, wait a minute. What are these? Why is my garage all my vehicles from my house just sitting here? What in the world? Hey there everyone, I'm Drosden and welcome back to another episode of Downhill Madness. As you can see from the beginning, these are actually my cars in real life. Well, more like my family cars. Mine is actually here, as well as my mom's and my dad's. And they're as close as I could get to them in this game, especially this. This is an automation mod. I'll go through them as time comes, but we're going to start with this. So in real life, I'll put a picture of it on the screen. We have a 2013 Toyota Sienna. And so this is as close as I could get to said 2013 Toyota Sienna in this game. It's also an automation mod, and it is called the Cruiser Inferno. And we're just gonna go ahead and start with this. It's a van, there's actually a meme going around where it's faster than a Subaru WRX, which I thought was kind of funny. A lot of cars are from a rolling start, which is interesting. I think it's a rolling start. I don't know if it's a rolling start or a standstill start. They have better acceleration. Probably a standstill, because I think this would be slower than a sports car. From a rolling start, where they both have the same advantage. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and send the 3 vehicles that I actually have in real life in my garage right now down this mountain, down this slope. And we are going to have a 4th one at some point, and maybe even a 5th. And when those do happen, I will, of course, put those in. My sister will start driving soon, and we are getting a Camaro at some point. So those will also be added as soon as we get them, which is pretty cool. But for now, we're just doing the 3 that we own now, which the one sits outside, which is mine. Mine sits outside, and this and the other one sit in the garage, which is pretty neat. This is my mom's car. She drives the Sienna. I did color match all the vehicles as well. So, this is the color of our van, as you'll see from the picture I posted. And it's not that bad off-road. There is, as you'll tell by the other two, I tried to get pretty close to the real vehicle. So, of course, Toyota Sienna, this is as close as I could get. I looked up Toyota Sienna in BeamNG mods and did not find anything. I may have looked up 2013 Toyota Sienna, which is what we have. But I don't think there's anything for Toyota Sienna just in general. So this is as close as I could get. I scrolled through some automation mods until I found this. I couldn't also find a Toyota Sienna in automation because the search bar wasn't working. So this is as far as I got. But I think this is pretty close to being real, to being the actual car. Definitely drives like a van. I can't tell if it's front wheel drive. Also, it's turbocharged, which I get that in actual cars now, they're starting to put turbochargers in and then putting 4 cylinders instead of 6 cylinders in, just to make the gas mileage better with the same amount of speed, which I think is interesting. This is supposed to be a 2022 minivan. I don't know. It looks like my 2013, but a little older because of the lights and stuff are a little rounder, which is interesting, but, it's okay. That was pretty easy, making it down there in this. And that's across the line. How's it looking? Just a little bit of damage. The lights are flashing because it detected a collision. As you can see from the front bumper, there was, in fact, a collision. But it was just a little bump. That's okay. I think this looked pretty good going down the hill. And it definitely looks like, almost like, what we own in real life, which is pretty cool. So we're going to run it into the wall here. Not going that fast. Yeah, that was a cute little hit. I can't, okay, we can still move. I can't tell. I want to see Is this front wheel drive? Oh, that was a little harsh. Land upside down, please. Nope. Did not land upside down. Rear wheel is spinning. It looks like it's rear wheel drive. Yes. It's rear wheel drive. That's interesting for a minivan. I will say that. However, that's this in Cruiser Inferno, our 2013 Toyota Sienna. Now on to the next vehicle. And the next vehicle is this. This is my car. Not exactly, as you'll see from the picture versus this. Not exactly. This is as close I could get. I drive a 2005 Nissan Frontier. This is a Nissan Pathfinder. I don't know what year. However, the front end looks about the same, and that's as close as I could get because the Pathfinder and the Frontier look pretty similar. And I think for the most part have generally the same parts. Besides, mine has a truck bed because it's a truck, and this does not. Also, this has a weird rear door handle, which my truck does not because it's a truck. As you can see, I downloaded this mod off of BeamNG mods. I think I'm going to start using that more, BeamNG mods, to get some more interesting vehicles in instead of just automation, because automation's cool, but they're not real vehicles. And I kind of like testing the real vehicles. So I think we're going to take some BeamNG.drive mods and some other modding websites that have scanned and beam modeled real life cars and put those real life cars to the test more often now. Still do automation vehicles if I find something cool. However, I feel like this is more along the lines of what we're going to do. This isn't good. This is probably the most off-road suited vehicle we're going to test this episode out of the 3. There's this Nissan Pathfinder. Nissan Frontier mock-up. Fake Nissan Frontier. Well, that front wheel is not looking too hot. We're still moving. Okay. Lost steering in the front left wheel. Front left wheel is still... yeah, steering is completely gone in that wheel. Oh, front right wheel steering is gone. Okay. I think that's it for this. I don't think, well, no. Wait, hold on. Doesn't really turn right anymore. Ooh, that was harsh. Yeah, it hits the ground pretty hard, too. However, it's still going. Still going, which is surprising. Considering, I don't know, it's pretty beat up. Missing that front wheel and all. Uh-oh. That's not good. Another roll for the Nissan Pathfinder. That front wheel might be gone now. It looked gone. That back wheel is. Okay. We are one-wheel drive, I think. I don't know. I must have it on 100% instead of 30% because that was a hard pull. I did not mean to do that. My truck I know is rear-wheel drive, but I can make it all-wheel drive, and it has a high gear and a low gear because it's got the towing package. Pretty fancy. But it does look like this is... I can't tell if this is all-wheel drive. It might be. This is going to be an awful time if we make it to the bottom, but I won't let this make it to the bottom because it's pretty beat up. However, it is passing the speed limit. I said a speed limit of 20 when we started this series, and it is passing that speed limit, so that's pretty good. Oh. And that's it gone. I think mine's also a V6. This looks like an inline 6. I could be wrong. I think mine is, though. Well, Nissan Pathfinder down. 2 more attempts to go. Alright, and attempt number 2 for the Nissan Pathfinder. Hopefully I get a vehicle this episode that, makes it onto the leaderboard. I think the next vehicle has a pretty good shot. Maybe even this if I drive it well. And I think that Sienna's time was pretty good. The Inferno. Cruiser Inferno. I think that guy's time was also pretty good. Of course, I don't know the times until editing. You guys will know them as you're watching. I don't know the times yet. I put the times in whenever I edit. So, hopefully it's a pretty good time. Something is loose in the engine bay. I believe it is my air filter from what it looks like. It's kind of bobbling around in there. That's not good. Not at all, actually. But as long as it stays connected, I think we'll be okay. As long as we have our air induction system and everything, I think we'll be okay. I think our front left wheel is bent to the right. It does not go straight anymore, this vehicle. And I'm gonna say that it's that wheel, because that wheel... Actually, no. Both of the front wheels are bent. They're both bent inwards, which means they kind of even out. Which is nice that they even out. I do appreciate that. Okay, big roll. Front wheels are very weak on this, from what I can tell. However, that was pretty good. That was a pretty comfortable roll. I'm okay with that. This time will be very bad. But again, the times are based on not only the car and what it can do, but the driver, which is me, what I can do. It's a test of the vehicles, but it's mainly a test of how I can handle the vehicles. And if I can't handle the vehicles well enough to get a good time, then they won't get a good time. That's just how it works. Now, hopefully, I can get a good time. Maybe I'll total this vehicle. But the problem with that is that I'll only have one attempt left, and this is pretty bouncy. Which is scary. It's a very scary vehicle to drive, this Nissan Pathfinder here. But now that I'm pretty beaten up, I think I might just hammer it to the end. Try not to make many mistakes, because maybe that'll make time up. That's my only way to get it higher on the leaderboard, is to make time up. And so I'm going to try to do that. I think my rear left suspension is busted, because I'm hitting that corner pretty hard on the ground every time I hit something. I over-revved my engine, so I messed up my valve train, and my torque is messed up. That's my bad, but it's not my bad, because I'm driving all these vehicles in automatic. And that's manual stuff. So the automatic transmission is not liking it. Uh-oh. No, don't do it. We're so close to the bottom. No! Oof. Engine damaged, but it still works. Get back on the path before we cross the finish line. Okay, and we crossed it. That's a really bad time. I will take this time and use it. I am going to run it a third attempt and see what happens, though. So that's the time we got. However, if this time happens to be any better, then I will go ahead and use this time. So we're going to go ahead and give it a third attempt. Just because that try was pretty rough, and I could have done that a lot better. And I actually do, even though this is a test of me driving the vehicles, I want to give the vehicles a fair chance and a fair shot at winning. And so, I am going to take this and drive it a little better. Try to drive it a little better. Again, it's very bouncy, which is interesting. But I know my truck is pretty bouncy while I'm driving that thing down the road. And I hit a little bump, and it'll bounce you. Bounce my fishing rods too. Got fishing rods in it. So, you know, we're making our way though. Even though it is bouncy, we are countering the bounce. Counter the bounce. Nope. Stop bouncing. Can't really counter the bounce when that happens. I've never had to deal with that in real life. I've never really gone 50 miles an hour down a steep, bumpy gravel hill. So, I haven't had to deal with bounces like that. I feel like it would happen, because the rear end of my truck is pretty light. But, I haven't had to deal with that yet, which is good. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, rear left suspension definitely takes a really big beating while I'm driving this. Did last time, and it is this time. It's taken a heavy hit. Many of them. Okay. We took that a lot better. I think we spun out here last time. I think we also spun out here. Try to take this a little better. Yeah. Yep. Giving the vehicle a fair chance. That's all it wants. All it needs is a fair shot at getting on the leaderboard. Doesn't matter if it gets first place. It might. I'm surprised nothing has beaten the first vehicle I ever ran down this, which was that farm handler truck. I feel like if anything has a shot, this and maybe the next vehicle has a shot. The next vehicle is kind of a rally car. It used to be made for rally, and the name of it even has rally in it. However, well, technically has rally in it. However, I'm not sure if it'll do well, because driving it in real life, if it's anything like the real life, it is very stiff, this suspension, which would make it difficult to drive on places such as this. That's okay. This is making it pretty well. We did just roll. I didn't actually acknowledge it. We did just roll over, which is not good. I know the farm handler, one of the reasons we did so well is because, number one, it handled the bumps real smooth, but we also made very little to no mistakes. The truck was pristine when we got it down, versus almost every other vehicle that we've driven down here where it's not been pristine when it's made it to the bottom. And I honestly feel like this time is slower than it, and probably slower than about half the vehicles. Not a good judge of that, but it feels like it's been maybe about 4 minutes. It doesn't feel very fast. Faster than the last attempt, yes. Doesn't feel very fast. But we made it. I'll go from when the wheels crossed that corner to be consistent. I know we didn't exactly make it in that corner, but here it is. Looks a little beat up, just a wee bit. Actually, a little more than a wee bit. It would probably be called totaled if this was real. But let's go ahead and run into this wall. There we go. I'm scared to do that in real life, so might as well do it in Beam. Boom! Right into the Sienna. Not really Sienna, but anyway. Alright, now onto the third and final vehicle. This is my dad's car. He drives a 2021, I think, Subaru WRX, 2020 or 2021. I think it's actually a 2020. It's the WRX Premium. This is an STI that I took the spoiler off of. That's the closest we could get. We could get a WRX 2.0, which I think is what my dad drives, but it wouldn't let me change the color, and I wanted to get it the same color, which is this, which is World Rally Blue. So I went ahead and picked the STI because it came in this color and took the wing off. So fun fact, WRX actually stands for World Rally Experimental. The E in experimental is silent, I guess. We just messed up our induction system. It is turbocharged. Does have a turbocharger. And STI stands for Subaru Technica International, which is just the souped up version of the World Rally Experimental. And my dad's is in this color, which is World Rally Blue Pearl. Very pretty car, very fun to ride in. Have not actually driven it because my dad's afraid to teach me how to drive a manual in it. It's the only manual we have. It is a 6-speed. But he's afraid to let me drive in it, so I don't shred the gearbox. So we're going to have to find some other manual car to let me drive that the gearbox isn't too much of a concern in case I grind a gear or money shift or anything. But this is a very fun car to ride in. It looks like it's actually handling this pretty well. This is the one I told you, this bump is always a killer. Our radiator is now leaking. I told you the suspension is pretty stiff on this, and I am right, but I guess it's rally stiff. It's not too bouncy. Again, this was made for rally cars, but Subaru stopped racing rally in, I believe, 2003. And they've kept the WRX title for World Rallycross, World Rally Experimental, rather. However, they stopped making cars for rally. People still use them for rally. People make them for rally and drive them as rally cars, but they're not actually made with the intention of rally racing or rally driving. That was very, very hard of a hit, and we're going to want to flip this over pretty fast. I think we already starved the engine with oil, and there it is. This was a pretty good time until that happened. But yeah, so this is a pretty fun vehicle to drive. Well, I guess I've never really Yeah, it's all-wheel drive, which is good. 2 wheels are touching the ground at the moment. So it's more like 2-wheel drive. Steering is not as good as it used to be. Stop. Okay, well, I guess that's this attempt over because I don't feel like trying that more. Okay, well, attempt number 1 in the WRX is a fail. That half shaft is broken. It looks like our tie rods might still be attached, but I'm not certain. Could look a little better, but anyway. Now on to attempt number 2. All right, attempt number 2 for the WRX STI. The last attempt it was going really well until we made that little error there at that hill. Gonna have to remember not to do that same thing. I think I just took too much speed. Speaking of too much speed, we no longer have a rear left tire because I took too much speed around that corner and hit a rock. How good of that? And our induction system broke, I think, at the same spot. I think that's where our induction system broke last time too. Our intercooler and air intake and all that stuff. Yeah, that rear tire is not really posing too much of a problem. Again, it's all-wheel drive. This is probably on some sort of tire that is almost rally, off-roady-ish, which is good. Okay. Yeah, this time will not be anything amazing. The beginning of this is not going as well as the last run. Hopefully the end of it does. Hopefully the end of it goes better, rather. Because the last run, the end of it didn't really happen. But we're making it down. Pretty good. Pretty fast. Going almost 100. Actually, I think that was closer to 80. I was looking at the wrong speedometer. Of course, I still have all my telemetry stuff on the bottom of the screen for you guys to enjoy, as well as my tilt and roll. In my dad's car, there's actually a tilt and roll sensor and stuff and screen on the inside that tells you the tilt and the roll. It's like they're still kind of making it for rally, but not really advertising it as a rally car too much. Because they still have pitch and roll and all kinds of different stats you can put on there. Wheel spin, tire temperature, I think, is also in it. So there is a bunch of interesting things that it displays on the inside of the car on the secondary screen, which is pretty cool. However, this run, back to the game, this run is not going too hot. Here's where we flipped last time. And don't worry, we weren't even on the road to flip, so that's good. I am very much nailing it to the right most of the time to get it to go straight. That front left wheel got real messed up at that bad jump landing. The front left wheel is not steering really at all. I think it is, the half shaft is very weak if it's not broken. Rear drive shaft broken. We are one-wheel drive. Well, I guess front-wheel drive. I think that front left wheel is still attached. Just, not very well. But that's okay. So my mother decided to print something out while I'm recording a video. That's how nice of her. How sweet. This is not going too well. At all. We can't really stay over 30 miles an hour very easily. Makes the handling better though. That's good. Okay, well, that was probably a very slow time. But we did make it to the bottom. Oh. Technically. We can't move now. I don't know what that means. We made it to the bottom, but we can't move. Kind of rolled to the bottom. I don't know if that's it counted out or not. I feel like it should be. But I don't know. We did get a time, but I'm going to give it one more attempt. Because technically that was a DNF. We did not function when we went to the bottom. So we're going to give it one more shot. Plus I'm having fun. And hopefully you guys are having fun too watching it. I know at the time of recording this, the first episode has been uploaded, and that's the only one. This is currently episode 5, maybe? 4? I think it's 4. Yeah, first episode has been uploaded and has a total of 0 views. So, how good. Induction system broken at the same spot. Again, 3rd time in a row. Yeah, has 0 views. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying the series. That was just the first episode, though. Maybe when I get 3 or 4 out, people will start to be like, hey, this is a new series. It's kind of interesting. He's keeping score in a leaderboard. Front left half shaft is broken. Engine is starved of oil. Not going too well already. We keep hitting the front left. I don't know if it's weighted heavier to the left. It might be. Because that front left wheel just keeps getting hit really hard. Which is not good. If this doesn't make it, we will use the time from the last attempt. But I feel like that was a win-lose situation. So if I can get a time from this run, we'll use that, even if it is worse. Just because that last run was a little messy. We'll say that. It was a little messy. The car did not drive when we made it to the bottom. It kind of rolled to the bottom. So, yeah. But I don't know. That was a really hard hit on that back right axle. It's still connected, still functioning, just very, very bent. That's okay. As long as we can still drive, it's all right. We are 3-wheel drive. That front left half shaft being broken means that front left wheel, for the most part, has well, not really for the most part, has no power going to it. But that's okay. Again, all-wheel drive, it can sort of deal with that happening. Not too big of a problem. I'm gonna hit that cow. I'm not, but it's not turning right. Mainly because that front left wheel is working against it. Very much so. Working against this car. Which is not good. Why is the printer... What did it just spit out a paper for? Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Well... that might be the end of this attempt. Because I can't turn up onto this. I can. But I think we're too far down the hill. Yeah, it's not going to make it back up. Okay, well, we'll use our time from the last attempt. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but it looks like we're going to have to. Alright, so now on to the leaderboard for today's episode. So coming in second place overall is the Cruiser Inferno, which was our Toyota Sienna, with a time of 3:11.6, which is actually pretty good. It's better than I thought it did. Following right after that is in third place our Nissan Pathfinder with a time of 3:23.2. And still in the top 10, in 7th place, is our Subaru WRX STI 2021 with a time of 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, hit the red subscribe button, and the bell icon down below to get notified of when I upload. Of course, take the last vehicle, send it down the Stairway Mountain, because the name of the map is Stairway Mountain, but this is technically, I believe, this is why they call it Stairway Mountain, is because this is technically the stairway. So we're going to send it down here for the end of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this has been Dresden on BeamNG.drive with another episode of Downhill Madness. And goodbye.